Happy weekday. What day is it?
Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here at a crazy time. Sir Goodenough's going to chastise me because I didn't give him enough warning, but we were supposed to stream yesterday. Couldn't stream yesterday. We only got 2 days left. And the big fat man in the what color is his jacket? Red. Big fat man in the red coat comes. Right? Yeah. Okay. How's it going, everybody? Joel's here. Thank goodness. RG3's here. Thank goodness. Oh, I'm going to set this over here. All right. How's it going, everybody? So, is it the solstice? Oh, yesterday, right? Today is now not the longest day of the year. Starting to get, we're starting to get longer days now. Yesterday was the shortest day of the year. No. Yesterday was the shortest day of the year. Today, it's a little bit longer. Is that really right? Did we really have the calendar worked out that well? Hello, Jed. How you doing? It has been a while. All right. Well, this is serendipitous. I'm literally setting up a quad right now, as well as finishing up drilling holes. Fantastic, Brad. Boy, I should announce that I'm going to stream in the general chat more often. Do you guys see this? I just made a little announcement saying, hey, I'm going to stream. What topics should we talk about? And it's blowing up, and there's a lot of people that I don't usually see. I haven't seen a lot of, but we could totally go through some of this. You didn't miss a dang thing, Robert. We just barely got started. Any word on the PermaTrack pixel orders from until they're shipped out? Everything should be shipped out, RG3. If you haven't gotten a notice from it, PM me your order number. We did run into a problem where with all of the DrZzs orders and all the PermaTrack orders, I ran out of my quota ran out of my allotment of blasted notifications, right? Like in order to send out a whole bunch of emails to people for like automatic emails when they make an order and then they need a tracking information and stuff. I use Send in Blue as the service to do that. And I maxed out my, maxed out the number of emails I could send. So I had to go in and add some. So, but if you haven't got your, tracking info, PM me and I will track it down for you. Okay. But everything, I saw pictures today of, the last of the orders getting loaded onto the UPS truck. Poor UPS guy. Those boxes are big. Those PermaTrack boxes are big. And, everybody that orders usually at least 2. Probably the most common on average is like 4. And it fills a truck. Like the UPS guys to show up with a dang near empty truck to get to when we have days like we've had this last week. So awesome. All days are 24 hours. Are they really? You're right, John. Gosh. Just found out the hard way that for the quad, LED 1 equals pin 16, LED 2 equals 3/1. Ooh. Whoa, that's crazy. Dang it, Robert says. All right, this is fantastic. But you, sir, are the man. Well, thank you very much, Brad. I've been watching all your videos religiously and setting up my final build now. Can't thank you enough. You are very welcome, Brad. So let's talk about, I was going to talk about Node Red, and I have lots of interests, but clearly what everybody wants to know about, especially right now, is LEDs, pixels, permanent lighting, blah, 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 blah. So we give the people what they want, right? Right. So bring it on. What, problem solving, I'm reasonably good at. Ideas, I'm really good at. Is PermaTrack back in stock? I've signed up for email notifications. Yes, it is, Ryan. It sure is. It sure is. Gosh, I don't think we're sold out yet. Did someone say Node Red? Oh, does it really do that? Oh, Node Red. Yona did it. That's awesome. All right, let's see. Choose an option. If you want brown side might be out. Yeah, we only had a few boxes of that. Brown bottom is also out. Oh my gosh. White bottom. We have 71 boxes. I think we had like 300. 300. And then white. Oh my gosh. So we have nothing left. Oh my gosh. Oops, I'm sorry. I cannot believe that. Wow. We sold dang near everything in like a week. Oh my gosh. Well, the good news is you're still in time for Valentine's Day lights, right, Zoe? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I can't believe that. Wowzers. Wowzers. Well, thank you to everybody who has bought it, and let's talk about it. New and found out. You can't make crinkly crackly noises. You can't. Okay. Found out about PermaTrack 2 late. Currently drilling the crap out of a ton of J channel. You know what, Brad? I still have J channel. It's okay. It's good. It's good. My old boss just got a tracking number that is in. He's very excited. The nameless poet. You already have some, but he just got his tracking number. Fantastic. Yes, and hopefully UPS is really, going to be busting it out and getting everybody their stuff in the next couple of days. Been showing my dad all of your stuff since he got home. He's stoked about your channel. Well, thank you very much, Michael. That's fantastic. I can't believe like that one video about the permanent LEDs. It's had like 200,000 more views in just the last like month. So we've clearly hit the right topic. UPS just dropped off a package of pixels at my door. Check UPS, my choice for the PermaTrack. Cool. Excelente. So let's see. There was a lot of people writing. I used the same screws which were used for putting leaf guards in my gutters. Oh, yep. I'm reading through some of this stuff on some of the stuff that was posted in the Discord, in the main Discord channel. And I like how this guy did this. This was smart. Who is this? Do 604. Do 604. He posted his stuff in. He put his PermaTrack or his J channel. Here's what I was looking for. He did his J channel like this. Look at that. He put like little hooks there, and then he just hung it up there. That's genius. And it's the way it's hung up that way. You don't see any of the screws and stuff. Mine, you see the screws still. So that's really cool. I like that. And then we've got to come together as a community and support one of our brothers here. This poor dude, Big Shane. Big Shane, I do not understand what on earth, what else she could want from you. Big Shane did not get high marks on the wife approval factor. And look at that beautifulness. That is flipping gorgeous. Like, come on. That is fantastic. How many pixels are on there, Big Shane? Good sakes, that's got to be several hundred. And it's doing all the dancing. It's got all the colors. And she says, meh, it's okay. I think she's upset about something else, Shane. I think she's upset about something else. I think maybe what she needs is a new car or something. I don't know. It's because of the size of the tree. Look at that tree. That is amazing. Like, I can't show, don't look at this, kids. I can't show my wife and my kids this Christmas tree because you've seen mine and it don't look like that. It's not that good. That's amazing. Keaton's here. Fantastic, Keaton. I love to tell you every time I see you that Aleka Media Player is working beautifully. I had a little bumpy road there when I was doing beta and something wasn't up to date for a week or so. It was kind of screwy, but then all of a sudden it started working again. What you gonna do? But thank you. It's working and I love it. And it makes announcements when I come home from work and all this fun stuff. All right. So what can I tell you, guys? What do you want to know? I know somebody was asking about Big Shane deserves much more love. Amen, right? Does it say shame or does it say shame? Big Shane, Big Shane, Big Shame. You have 1,100 fairy lights on the tree and she's like, meh? Man. All right, I have a DigiQuad with some WS2011 pixels. When it turns off, the lights turn orange. So when you power it down and then power it back up, the default is to just turn on orange. So if you want to change that to something else, you do it, let's see, you do it in the, is it LED preferences? Yes, right here. So apply where it says apply preset 0 at boot. If you have presets set, which everybody should, there's no good reason not to have presets set. I don't know if that's all. You have no presets. Oh. I said, there's no good reason not to have presets. And guess who doesn't have any presets? Bang! I don't even know which controller this is. Oh, this controller just follows other controllers, so that's why there's no presets in it. Anyways, if you create a preset, and the preset is Big Shane, because he's getting lots of love today from us for having a freaking amazing Christmas tree and not getting enough credit for it. So Big Shane is the name of this one. If you go in there, LED preferences, where it says apply preset, put the number of your preset you want in there, and bang. You can do that. Or this also, set current preset cycle settings as boot, but you have to have a preset cycle. I think that's gone away. That's gone away. I think preset cycle has gone away in favor of playlists, so I'm not sure what that would do on a newer version. This may be a little bit older version of wLED. I can't remember in this particular controller. All right. I'm not going to save it. That's where that problem's fixed. Look at that. We fixed the problem already. Yes. We are amazing. Let's do something celebratory. My main remaining questions are safety. Oh, I'm the wrong guy to ask about that. I'd love a video about setting up conduit to protect injection wires using proper connector wires, AWG, temps, etc., and protecting / cooling outdoor supplies. Oh, Brad. We will have to get a consultant to do something about that because I am so bad. I am so bad at that stuff. I am just such a hack when it comes to that stuff. It's bad. It's bad. And I know it. You know, I think I may have revealed to some of you in the past, or some of you who listened and caught this a long time ago, probably around 94, 95. I actually passed the exam to be an electrical inspector. I worked for an electrical engineer, and I was just a draftsman. I just did, you know, the engineers we only had a couple, but they would draw like the red line. They would we did buildings, industrial and commercial buildings. So we'd have a floor plan, and they'd say lights here, blah blah blah, connect it, blah, give it to me, and then I would actually draw it in CAD. And I got good, and I could tell what was going on. And they got to a point where they're like, "Can you just do lights and receptacles on this plan?" And I could throw it all together, you know. And they would have to get into the specifics if there was a motor or if there was some special load and some of this stuff about the conductors, or whatever. But I got to know the National Electric Code pretty good back then. And I took the exam. I figured, what the heck? I took the exam to be a certified electrical inspector, and I passed. So we got to put that. It was a small business. We only had about 6 people, but we got to put that as one of our things. I was like the code guy, and here I am, like duct taping things and just doing all kinds of awful stuff. Hung my pixels like you hung the PermaTrack for Jaren. You mentioned lessons learned at the end of the video. I think I learned the same lessons by default. Cerebral Dad. One of the lessons you might have learned was don't do it in July, which clearly you didn't do. Cool DrZz's origin story, yeah. Now CAD, not used that for ages, right? It's like everything is CAD now. Now I put people to sleep. What a change. I know, huh? And then I do this for fun. Started out doing AutoCAD work before getting into software programming. Cool. Yeah, I was on AutoCAD, like AutoCAD 12 or something. I think when I went to school, it was AutoCAD 10. And by the time I was working in that office, it was AutoCAD 12. Duct tape, all the things. I'd flash the device again. Let's see what David's got a problem. Is this a different David? One more. Oh, it does. When it powers off, my LED amount number changes. And I have to go and change the number every time I turn it on. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That shouldn't be happening. Should not be happening. I wonder what... So this is where you're changing the LED number and you're saving. And then you turn it off and turn it back on. Now, when you're turning it off, it sounds like you're powering it off like completely, right? You're powering it off, like shutting off the whole power to the whole thing. Yeah, maybe try updating your version of wLED. That may happen. You wrote a textbook on AutoCAD, Cerebral Dad? That's awesome. That's awesome. Best way to put lights or props on the roof / ridge line. Ooh, that's something. Let's get a consensus going on that, stud on. I would say one reasonable option would be PermaTrack. Really would be, because the way we've got the mounts, you can screw the mounts in, and they wouldn't have to go. I mean, you'd probably want to catch a little bit of wood under there, so I'd put some longer screws, maybe some drywall screws in there, so that you get through the shingles and catch a little wood. And then you leave you could leave the mounts up there. And when it comes time to take everything down at the end of the year, you just go up and clip grab your PermaTrack, squeeze it, clip it off, and then you leave your mounts up there, and hopefully they would be able to survive until the next time you want to put them out. But what else? What other ways do you guys do it? Any experience with sound reactive version? Tons of experience with sound reactive version. Troy, I love it. I love it. Sandbags, PVC frame and sandbags. Wait, what are you guys talking about? You're not talking about Roofline. You're talking about something else. Oh, no, you're talking about sandbags to hold them on the roof. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Ordered some for the front line, finally. Some PermaTrack. Just received our 2000 WS2011s, and we are ready to start our new chapter of Christmas decorations. Go Juan! Hey, James, how's it going? You can wire nut together the unused power injection. Can you wire them together? Is that worrisome to create a potential short? Brad, you should just, if you're not going to use them, just clip them off. Just clip them off. I was going to just show you. Oh, this is what I would say to do. So you're talking about these extras here? Yeah, if you're not going to use them, just clip them off. Just clip them off way down here somewhere, or at least clip them off, somewhere so that they don't have wire hanging out like this. So when I put our Christmas tree together, we were doing our Christmas tree downstairs, and the part of them kept flickering, and I was like, what the heck's going on? Why are these flickering? Why are these flickering? And then as we were going through, just like going down the strips to see what was going on, I had a pair of these power injection wires like this on that. Oh, I tapped the button. Celebration time, I guess. Clip and heat shrink. Yeah, heat shrink's a good idea. So I had these, and I didn't see them, and I didn't connect them to anything, and they were touching, so I had it short. And I'm lucky that you talk about starting a fire. Good thing it was only like 5 volts, and so it was getting warm, and it was causing the flickering, but it wasn't really getting bad. I've been using F channel to mount my lights on the soffit and tucked into the fascia. Problem is, I'm uneasy with heights, and I am finishing the track for permanent pixels. Michigan is cold and icy, I bet you. I bet you. Cubicle Nate. What part of Michigan are you in? It's all cold, but. So, uneasy with heights. Yeah, that's a good reason to do permanent lights, my friend, right? Yeah, how high do you have to go? Do you have like a second story you got to get up to? What used to mount lighting around windows, since those are less permanent? Good question, C Sharpworm. I know a lot of people use PVC. They'll take PVC and they'll drill it, and then like some will put hooks. Similar to what we saw from whoever was that picture I showed from Discord. They'll put hooks so that they can just put the frames up. They'll make a frame around the size of the window with PVC and the PVC corners, drill it all out, stick the pixels in, wire it all up, hang it up there. When the season's over, just take it down. Just as simple as whoop, take it off the hooks and you're done. I think that would do. I don't have them around my windows. You know what I want to do though? So I'm going all permanent. Like when I'm permanent, I'm permanent. And I've started, but I haven't gotten very far because I just have too many things to do that I don't do. But I want to put the strips. I want to do strips on the inside of the windows in a diffuser, because not only can you see that from the outside, not quite like you would see pixels, but you could definitely see the lighting from the outside. It could also be kind of cool for effects on the inside, right? When you want to do like a sunrise effect, or make it look like it's daytime when it's not daytime, something like that. So I've thought about doing that in our big room downstairs, and I've started it. I've got lots of aluminum channel to do it with. I just haven't done it. Use the 1x2 wood, made a false window casing, attached the lights to it. Casing just slides in and out. There you go. That's perfect. I know there's that, what is that stuff called? You guys, you pixel heads, you guys know. What's that black strip that has the holes in it that you can just pop the pixels in? What's that stuff called? Is XLights still the best for Windows shows, for wLED shows? Yes. Yes. Fast Penguin. If you want a show where you've got, Frozen songs going and the lights and the props and all that stuff, XLights, hands down. I don't think anybody would even come close at this point. A few years ago, there was others, but I think at this point, it's pretty much solidified that XLights is the one. Pixel mounting strip, Boscoyo. There you go. Megatree strips. That's the stuff. That's the stuff. See, I knew the pixel heads would be my guys to know those things. Use strips and use silicone to glue to the brick. Oh, that works. I've been surprised how good the hot glue holds up outside. It's actually been decent. Use XLights for my house. Need more lights. Yeah, me too. 3 answers, 3 names. Chroma strip, pixel mounting strip, and Megatree strip. Boscoyo probably sells it under all 3. They're like, no, you want Megatree strip? Well, that's different. You got to go to this page. Strips on the inside of the window frame pointing inwards. Well, that's cool. Thoughts on leaving a controller on all the time versus turning it on and off daily? Exotic sports cars. So my thought is leave the controller on, set up a relay on the board to turn off the power supply. That's what I would suggest. And you can go on Amazon. You can get some pretty easy to use relay boards. I just added a couple to my. Nope, it's not tools and things. It's the freaking cool LEDs. These. I thought I had another one too. But these are pretty easy because they've got screw terminals. And so these will have where it says DC in, that will be from whatever pin you decide to use on your Uno or your quad. And there's a variety of pins. In fact, on the Uno, the easiest thing to do would probably be use LED 2 as the output. If you're only doing, if your Uno is only running one LED output, use the other LED output screw terminal and run a wire to the in on this relay board. And then of course you got plus and minus here. Let's see. And then the other side. Yeah. And then this would be where you would put your power wire. So you would just take your positive wire that goes to the power supply. Now this is the one that turns on, well, not to the power supply, maybe turns to the LEDs. So the red wire that goes from your controller to the LEDs, run that through this. Run that through this. And you would do one of them on normally open and one of them on common. And then it would keep on going. And then that would make it so whenever you, and then tell wLED that you've got a relay on there. I think you have to have version 13, but I'm not 100% on that. And then whenever you turn your LED controller off, it clicks off the relay. We did it on a stream a while back. I'm so bad about videos. I can't believe that you guys even still stick around because I'm so bad about actually making videos anymore. It's criminal. It's criminal. I don't deserve any more subscribers. All right. What should I ask Santa for a 3D printer or backup power for my Home Assistant server? 3D printer, Phil. 3D printer, hands down. Hands down. Home Assistant is much more forgiving of power outages. Are you using a Raspberry Pi 4? I hope not. Or a Raspberry Pi with an SD card? If you're using Raspberry Pi with an SD card, you know, you're eventually gonna have a failure. It's gonna eventually fail. So I would, in that case, maybe say not necessarily backup power because I don't know that it's that critical, but you'll want to do something. Certainly daily backups and it's pretty easy to switch to a USB drive now with Home Assistant, or just get something else like a blue or a yellow. Yellows aren't out yet, but my controllers stay on October through January, 24/7, 3 years. Never had an issue, but they do draw power even off. Yeah. Mini PC. Oh, good. 3D printer is so useful. So useful. You got to have a 3D printer. If you don't have one already, you got to do that. That's it. You got to do it. Used APC UPS and some Costco deep cycle batteries make a great cheap backup power solution. There you go. Google Drive backup every day. You're in good shape, Phil. Get yourself a 3D printer. Ask Santa for a 3D printer. I would say get the Ender 3 V2. Although there's a new, is there a new Ender 3, guys? Like a S1 or something I saw? I don't know what that's about. 12-volt pixel lights go around my window frames, and I zip tie the ends together at this point. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave them all year on this house or not. Good question. Or good point. Windows, here's my plan. My plan for my house, if I ever get to it, is, and we've gone through this, a lot of you guys probably don't even remember going through this with me, but the back of the house. So we've got a park, and then there's a church over there with a big parking lot and everything. So the back, and on the front of the house is a cul-de-sac. So that's cul-de-sac would be a bad place to have a lot of cars trying to come watch a show on the front of the house. It just wouldn't be good. But the back of the house is the place. We got the castle down there. We got plenty of room. Plenty of people can walk around this. So the back of the house is the place to put the display on my house. My thinking is, if I'm going to put stuff up and like put stuff around the windows and even a matrix and that stuff, I'm going to leave it out. I want to leave it out because why not have a display for Valentine's Day and a display for Valentine's Day for St. Patrick's and 4th of July and all that stuff. So, but again, what I need is to just not have a job. Have I integrated Falcon Player pixel lights with remote wLED units? Crucible Nate, I just the other day did wLED XLights to wLED controllers, and it's super simple now. It's really nice. I have a Falcon Player, but I haven't integrated that really with the wLED units. But I think if you're talking about doing it with XLights, it's pretty simple now. And if you go back, one of the 12 days of Christmas we just did, one of the 12 streams of Christmas that we just did, I should have given you guys the link to this, anybody that was looking for it. One of the 12 streams of Christmas we just did was about that. Here it is. Nope, this one. This one. And Sir Goodenough has done... What is that noise? Stop with the noise. Oh. Come on. Where's the... I just want to share. What in the frickety frack? I just want to share. Why are you giving me so much trouble just to share? I just want the bleeping link. Oh, there it is. Okay. Gosh. Sorry. What else? What other questions and stuff, you guys? Probably almost time to sign off, but I made it. No, Daniel, no, we're just getting started, man. I've been on about a half hour. I'll be on at least another half hour. Can I add an antenna to the Quad 4? I got the internal one. No YouTube Premium? Yeah, not for me. You cannot add an external antenna if what you have is this onboard antenna version. The board is completely different when you have an external antenna like that. So what you would have to do is just get, if you really need the extra range, is just replace this. I have some of these. I haven't listed them. I don't have a ton of them, but I have some, and I haven't listed them on the website because none of them are soldered or flashed. So, I'm hesitant to commit to selling them when selling one means I need to spend, it doesn't take long, but it's 5 minutes or something to solder and flash it. And I don't always know for sure when I'm going to be able to do that 5 minutes. It's easy to do with Falcon Player as well. Just UDP equals all in your FPP device and XLights tools and FPP Connect. There you go. See? So I don't remember who was asking. The Cubicle Nate. Cubicle Nate was asking, and the place to go to get those kinds of directions is from Tech Turtle and the Pixel Heads in the LED channel. These guys are freaking awesome. I sent them all a gift package. I hope you've all gotten it. Well, probably not all of you have gotten it because some of you live out of the country. But the Pixel Heads are fantastic. They just really are a good group of dudes who love what they're doing. They love each other. they tease and they have their inside jokes and their fun times, and they help, and they're just positive, and I appreciate them so very much. So thanks again to Pixel Heads for being wonderful, and Cubicle Nate, he's the guy that's the place you can get help from. Tech Turtle and the dudes in the LED channel, they know a lot more about XLights and Falcon players and stuff than I do yet, because it's only been 3 years that I've been saying I'm going to do it. So pretty soon, I'm sure it's going to happen. How's the NAS? So the NAS is pretty good. I will say one thing that has been a little bit of a bummer is you do have to have the app open for it to back up. And that's too bad. And we've been trying to back up everything on our phones. So like I had like 6,000 pictures. My wife had like 12,000 pictures. And so it's been days and I still have 2,323 pictures left. So it takes a long time because basically you just kind of open it up, turn it on to start doing backups and leave it all night, you know? And I don't really need to do mine I should probably not back up. I know that everything that is on my phone to this point is already backed up. It's on Google at least, so I should probably stop doing that and just let it go, you know, with the new stuff. But anyways, keep saying that. Never have time. It always works on Android. Oh, does it? Yeah, maybe it's a different. The app doesn't need to be open. My wife's iPhone had 12,000 photos and 99% uploaded in the background. I don't understand. It just doesn't seem to be working though, Robert. Maybe there's a setting I'm missing. Noob question. Been working on my 16 LED Megatree using a SAN devices controller and Vixen software. Feeling limited. I think you are limited. Should I switch to XLights before going to a full house complete setup in the spring? Yes. 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 Yeah. Oh. Switch to XLights. Yeah, right? That was a pretty resounding heck flipping yes. Videos make uploads to NAS very slow. We do have a lot of videos. Has to be open every once in a while in iOS. Is that what it is, Josh? So maybe it does it for a while and then it hangs up. I don't know. I think what I need to do, my wife still needs to finish uploading all of hers because hers are really, really not backed up in Google. Mine, I think, are mostly backed up. I know they are. I mean, where I'm at now in the backup with mine. We're putting in, like I'm watching pictures. It's uploading right now. We're putting in the foundation of the Hobbit house. That was in like April, May, something like that. So that's been a long time ago. I know all those pictures are backed up already. Trouble with my Wi-Fi controller, losing contact with my Wi-Fi system. No, using wLED worked fine when I set them up, but after a few days, all of them show offline even after resetting all the Wi-Fi, etc. ideas. Are they far from your router, folk guy? Do you think maybe it's a signal strength issue? What router are you using? Is there anything in the router that would be resetting, changing IP addresses, anything like that? And then the other thing would be, so Wi-Fi connection strength. Then the other thing would be power brownout kind of stuff. That's probably not it, but that does happen sometimes if your LEDs are taking a lot of juice. So if it's happening after you've been running the LEDs or something or on certain effects, but Wi-Fi strength. I know the onboard antenna, and I'm trying not to. I don't want to be like selling things that end up being a disappointment, I guess. But the onboard antenna ones like this, I really think these got to be pretty close to your router, or you got to have a pretty strong mesh kind of a system for Wi-Fi in your house for something like this to function very well outside. I've had a lot of these outside, and I think at one point or another I've had trouble with all of them. So this is a much better and only slightly more costly option. So this is the external antenna version, and I think this is great. I've switched to this on my main house and on this one. Actually, this one we're looking at right here. This one here. the side of the house, the south side of the house. This is on one of these. It's actually in the garage, but it's one of these. And then, of course, the ultimate, if you've got the capabilities, if you have the capabilities to get a wired connection to it, that is the ultimate. Nice thing about these is you can run just Wi-Fi because right now this is all I've got listed in the store is these. But I did hear from Quindor today that he's going to try and get me a bunch more quads, DigiQuads, and I asked him for the majority of them to be external antennas. Oh, Wi-Fi sleep mode NWO. That's right. Yeah, Wi-Fi sleep mode is one to make sure that you are turning off. Where's Wi-Fi sleep mode? Is that Wi-Fi setup? Yeah, disable Wi-Fi sleep. That's another one. A wild Quindor appears. I like that. How's it going, brother? How's it going? I was summoned. You heard me. I said your name. Magic. How's it going, my friend? Good. You getting ready? Everybody ready for Christmas? Took a while to figure out that my Wi-Fi problem was my neighbors when they got online in the evening, killing one of the APs with noise. Oh, no kidding, Gary. See, I would have never been able to figure that out. Rob Trotter, it's all your fault. It is. Yes, I accept full responsibility. I started 6 months ago installing one strip along my eaves. Now I've got another 6,000 pixels set up in XLights, and I'm now looking at thousands more for next year. Oh, Rob, bless you. Bless you. And I will take full credit. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, it's so funny. Like, I mean, my house is not, I don't have that much. I guess I'm doing I'm keeping the dope man creed of don't get high on your own supply. As I've got thousands of LEDs and controllers sitting around here, I just don't have a lot of them up on my house. I do have some, and it's, I definitely do, but I love hearing those kinds of stories. It's all your fault. Started with 600 pixels first year and got addicted. Now I'm at 8,000. Oh my gosh. I really would like to. I think it's crazy that I don't have a bigger display, and I've got it all planned out for the back of the house. I just got to get off my butt and do it. I'm really bad about like whatever is in front of me right now. That's like what I really want to work on. And then when that changes, I want to work on something else, and I put that one thing away and never go back to it. But anyways, enable Synology photos here, and it may upload in the background settings. Oh, settings, general background app refresh. Oh, that's probably it. It's in the main settings of iOS, isn't it? That's what you're talking about, huh? Yes, it is. So let's see. We're going to go settings, general, background app refresh. Yes, there you go, my friend. Now let's find Synology photos. Hope it's turned off. QRS. It's not listed. Is it called something else? Photos mobile. Oh, it is turned on. Okay. Turn it off. Turn it back on. I am going to turn off a bunch of other things, though. A bunch of this stuff doesn't need to be on. Sheesh. Background app refresh. Come on, you turkeys. Get over yourselves. You don't all deserve to be on background app refresh. Ah! Huh. Man. There's a lot of crap. Sheesh, I got too many apps. Alright, let's go. Open that back up and let that, because it was making some good progress here. Alright. Not like you have been busy building a house or anything. There's always more projects than time. Amen, Joshua. Amen. What turkey? How's it going, man? Fat Daddy, what turkey? Who's turkey? WS 2011 bullets. I'd recommend wired watts. I know that they use a good factory with high quality lights. Playlist is my favorite new feature of wLED. Love all the improvements. Haven't they done some great things? Hey Doc and community, I'm calculating power requirements for RGB analog PWM strips. Typically I see 14.4 watts per meter, but some say that's for whole strips. Others say that's one color. Is one of those a mistranslation? Good question, and I can't say I know for sure. Juan really wants an external antenna board. Yeah, message me on Discord. We'll work something out because I've got them. I don't have a ton of them, but I have a few of them, and I'll get it worked out. Magic Ken 2000. We should do something fun for Magic Ken just because I feel like doing something fun. Let's do this one. Whee! There you go. See, you got Quindor here. He knows all the answers. Checked while you were saying you turkeys. Oh, I don't remember what I was saying you turkeys about even at this point. Oh, it's probably all those apps on my phone. Spent too much on pixels. Conceal, don't feel, don't let her know. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Working on 1200 pixel 6-foot diameter sphere for a ball drop on New Year's Eve. That's freaking amazing. So are you going to have it drop too, Robert? You're going to have it like, whoop, slide down the pole? Well, that's awesome. That is awesome. What else was I going to tell you guys? So I took a plunge here. So you guys keep asking questions, keep bringing up stuff about LEDs, whatever. I'm happy to do stuff. And in the meantime, I'm just going to talk about whatever comes to mind. Okay? Because if you guys were like hanging out at my house, we were all just like sitting in my living room, this is what we would do. It'd be the same. So look what I got. This is, I actually paid money for these. I didn't get them for free or anything. This is a network over power thing. And I got that as the first attempt to get internet at the power shed at the Hobbit house. So I'm going to put one of those in down at the house, plug it into the router, and then it'll run hopefully up the power lines, the main power lines into the house that come from the power shed that's up the hill about 500 feet. Maybe not quite that far, but it's pretty far. And then plug the other one in up there. Hope it's on the same phase. If not, I'll switch the breaker to the other phase. But plug it in up there and then get the Ethernet connection out of it. And hopefully that will get me internet at the generator and the inverter. And I can start controlling things long distance. Or longer distance at least. Evening home from work, you can see score. Yes, Raspy. Made it home. Made it home. Those work great as long as you are on the same leg. Yeah. And I mean, if I'm on the wrong leg, I just switch it. I mean, the breaker up at the power shed, I've just got a breaker on a panel. In fact, I probably need to add a second breaker because the one that's there is running the battery charger on the generator. So, first Atham smart bulb with wLED pre-flashed. Have you tried their products? I have not. I've heard about them. What do you think, Joe? I don't know anything about the price or anything. I know we've looked at their website here on the stream, and I'm glad somebody's doing it. I thought about doing that kind of thing a long time ago, but it's just too time intensive to, for me to be flashing things. But that's great. If they're selling quality stuff and they're giving it to you for, we want everybody to make a profit, So without putting things out of reach of regular people, I think they're doing a great thing. Can you make your own design in wLED? I have installed wLED since today and started using it. Greetings from the Netherlands. Hello, Roy. It's hard to say, can you make your own designs? You can customize the heck out of some of these things. I mean, yes, you can. Like if you wanted to get in and program your own thing, you can. But there are so many options and so many combinations. When you look at all the effects, there's over 100 effects now. There are, I don't even know how many palettes. I think we stopped at 60 or something, 50, 60 palettes, color palettes. Plus you can define 3 of your own colors that affect a lot of the effects, not all of them, but a lot of them. So you can do different colors. You can do a whole palette of colors. You can do over 100 different effects. And then on those effects, you can change the speed. There's the intensity slider on some things so that you can, sometimes if it works in like chunks of pixels, so it like light up like 3 or 4 pixels at a time, you can change the intensity. Maybe it'll light up 7 or 10 pixels at a time. You know, you kind of adjust those things. So the amount of adjustments that you can make is incredible. I mean, it is close enough to infinite that I think we can say it's uncountable, the number of differences that you can make. So can you get in there in the code and write up your own effect and whatever? Yes. Do you need to? Probably not. Can you find some combination in all those effects and all those palettes that is going to be just what you're looking for? I bet you can. I bet you can. Nano AC to get your network to the power shed wirelessly. Yeah, I thought about that, Neil. I thought about that. I want it to be pretty reliable. I'm hoping that this is going to be more reliable than a wireless connection might be. And the other thing is I want it to be low power consumption because we are running off batteries and stuff, and something like this, especially, is going to run 24 hours. I want it to always be on. So having an extra, like I looked at some of these little dishes and some of these things you can, and I mean, that's what you're talking about, right? The nano AC thing, kind of a long distance Wi-Fi extension kind of a thing. I looked at those, but we were looking at this and somebody was saying this would be less power consumption. So since we're running on batteries, I thought maybe we'd give this a go. So, and this wasn't too expensive. This was like $100 and something bucks. Thanks for all the videos. Really helped with my wLED projects. Urologist, Roku, where are you at? I might have to start my own channel as Dr. Peepees. I don't know how YouTube would receive that, Dr. Peepees, but you should at the very least, Roku the cat, you should change your username. Change your username to Dr. Peepees. Oh, man, that's good. That is clever. That is clever. Feel like coming to South Carolina for your next install? I wish. Los Angeles. Those nano ACs can be powered by PoE. That's pretty awesome, Dr. Peepees. Every time if you don't change Roku the cat, I'm just going to remember that's Dr. Peepees. We're all going to remember. How can we forget? What's the latest version of wLED beta can I upgrade to on my new Dij Uno? The latest is 13B6. The latest is 13B6. What I would suggest you do, so you can do it. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it online. You know, you can do it over the air. And I think if you go here, security and updates, manual update. So this one's on version 12, which is probably what you got. So this gives you the link to the latest version, 13 beta 6. If you do that, you're on the new Dij Uno. So what you need is, are you on Ethernet or not? If you're not on Ethernet, then this would be the one you need. wLED 13 beta 6 ESP32. If you have an Ethernet controller and you want to use the Ethernet, I guess if you use this one, you just wouldn't be able to use the Ethernet. That might be fine. If you want to use the Ethernet, then you got to use this one. And then you download that and then you upload it, through this. Or I really like doing this because it detects everything for you. It will grab the right version based on the controller because it can detect which controller you have. It doesn't detect whether or not you have Ethernet. So if you have Ethernet, you still have to select that to tell it that you have Ethernet. But then it just installs it. And then once it's installed, you can connect your Wi-Fi. Now, if you're doing an update, and you do this, it will probably wipe it and you'll need to put your Wi-Fi information again. But this will let you put your Wi-Fi information in while you're connected over USB. And that's pretty amazing. And then that gives you a console as well. You can't do too much in the console. Well, you can do a lot of things in the console, but it's not very intuitive. Anyways, this is awesome. This is awesome. And the only way to get the beta in this web tools is by using this V2 HTM. But if you go just to this one, it will install. Well, I guess this will let you. Oh, look at that! It'll let you install the Sound Reactive version, which there are newer versions of Sound Reactive. There's actually 13 something Sound Reactive too. But here's a 13 beta 4 if you do it this way. But I would go with the slash V2 one if you're going to do it. If you're going to use a USB cable to flash it. Although I do think this is probably the easiest way to go. Buy 2 cheap TP-Link routers off eBay. Upload DDWRT firmware and put them in wireless bridge mode. Way cheap. Create a wireless bridge. Oh, man. Now you tell me. Michael, you haven't been able to catch me live in a while. Well, I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here. DC PoE injectors are decently cheap too. Run your PoE stuff right off the batteries. Ooh, that would be nice. We don't waste any power on inverters. I could do that, and I've thought about doing that actually in the house, because like the lights, the only thing that we would typically need to run like in the house at night. That's not really true. I'm such a minimalist sometimes. Like I go up there and think we could live very Spartan, right? We're like, oh, we don't need this. We don't need heat. We don't need this, right? We don't need lights. And then the wife is like, no, we need lights, and we need refrigerator, and we need the TV, and blah, blah. So V2 does the Wi-Fi setup. Yeah, that's right, Justin. How's it going, brother? The other Justin Z. Anyways, is your home offshore power, or do you have a hybrid power generation setup? It is off the grid power, Cubicle Nate. Totally off the grid. Not my house that I'm in currently, not this moment. The Hobbit house that we built, the little vacation house that we built up in Idaho that we love and that I wish I was there all the time. That one is completely off the grid, and we're getting close. We're getting close. We're getting close. I think once the holidays get over, hopefully I'll hear back from our engineer we hired to get me finally the permit to finish all the solar setup stuff. We've got a lot of snow on the roof, so I'm going to need to get some sort of a safety harness and then get up there and do some more work on getting solar panels and stuff installed. But right now, it's we've got the generator charging the batteries and the inverter running the house, right? So generator charges the batteries go to the inverter powers the house. That's what we're at right now. So, but right now, I don't have a remote way to turn on the generator. With these, I should be able to do that because the generator has an app. Once it's connected to the internet, I can turn it on, turn it off remotely. So when the batteries are getting low, I can click on my phone and turn the generator on. Right now, it's not set up to do that automatically. I'm sure we'll get there, and I'm sure there's some settings in the inverter or something that I can connect to make that happen, but I haven't done that yet. Going to be looking back at the Mega Alarm and doing some upgrades over the holiday break. Good, C Sharpworm. Thank you for doing that. I have still, I'm such a turd. I'm such a turd. I'm such a flake. Here in my lab, so this is it. I mean, it's all there. It's working. It's just not connected to anything. But yeah, it's all working. It's all there. That's my... So C Sharpworm, for you guys that don't remember or don't know, C Sharpworm wrote a really good Arduino sketch that you can run on an Arduino Mega. This was before we really had Ethernet on ESP32s, but still cheap and good way to do it. So ESP30 or on the Arduino Mega with an Ethernet board, I wanted a very reliable alarm window, door and window sensor setup. And also I want it to do relays for my heating and cooling. So that's all in there. I just haven't connected the wires to it. It's down there, it's running, it's plugged in, and it works. I haven't connected the wires. A floor-mounted solar array. Oh, I should have thought of that. Enjoying vacation days, going into the holiday? Fantastic. Fantastic. Today was almost like a vacation day. I got done really early today, which is nice because I had a long, hard day yesterday. Going to be looking back. Okay, let's see. I have an off-grid setup using that method, running a handful of cameras and a UniFi AP. Oh, good. Good. Do I have internet for the Hobbit house? Yes, we do. We actually we get good cell signal there anyways. So I think if we wanted to use like a hotspot, we could. Sorry, Sir Goodenough. I didn't give you much warning. Here he is. Do you like unicorns or planes? So unicorns or planes? Oh, planes? Okay. Welcome, my friend. Thanks for being here. Sorry to kind of drop it on you. Surprise, surprise. But we're getting down to the crunch time. I got to do it when I can do it, you know. Anyways, about the internet. Yeah, we have Starlink. We use Starlink, which is good. It's actually pretty good. That live stream with Home Assistant, the Home Assistant Open Home Conference, I streamed the whole time from the Hobbit house over the Xfinity, and I didn't see any drops or any glitches or anything in my stream. So, trains. Yes, of course, the trains. Choo choo. Oh man, what else is going on with lights? What can I answer for anybody about lights? Lights. Oh, you know what? Somebody asked me. I'm genuinely curious. Why are you doing a roof mount instead of a ground mounted system? Good question. That's a great question. I think when we got started, we wanted to have a kind of a pavilion anyways, sort of a gathering, outdoor eating kind of a place. And we thought, well, let's use that to make a roof, a flat roof for solar panels. So we did that and then realized we probably want more solar panels. So then we spec'd out and actually bought a bunch of parts for a ground mount system. But getting the ground mount system connected to the inverter that was in the pavilion, and then just the code stuff about the ground mount system it probably wasn't too cumbersome, but it was like, I looked at it and was like, this is going to be so much better if we just extend the roof on this shed. So now we're extending the roof on the shed, which is going to just make more shade and more covered space for gathering and eating and stuff, and more space for those things. So it's kind of nice because now we've got the way we did the solar shed. It's kind of got a loft. It's got an upper space under the roof. And that's where like the batteries and inverter and all that stuff goes. So it's totally out of the elements. I mean, it gets cold up there and hot, but it doesn't get wet. So I like that. I like the way we did it, but I see what you're saying. I mean, I think a ground mount would have been just a real cheap way to go. Mr. Fixer's so late. Homo Stream, you spoke with Frank about the press button. Are you going to do this in a stream which press button was that? Which press button is that? Oh. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I do need trees at the Hobbit house. I do. How the heck to navigate Discord? Trying to figure out your channel. Thanks for all the help. Hey, Matt. Yeah, Discord, once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. If you are, if you go to the, well, here, let's give you 2 seconds on Discord. Now I'm scrolling like a crazy man, aren't I? All right. So in Discord, what you'll have is over here, you've got a list of all your channels. Okay. So if you're a member of my channel, you'll see my cute little face over here. Right. And the notifications are there because I went live. And so I got a notification that I'm going live. And then there's been other people that have pinged me about different things. Home Assistant probably somebody answered my question, so I can go down and see what it was about. Probably this one right here. All right. So when you're in here, when you're in Discord, over here on the left, there's a bunch of channels. So there's the general channel, and this is the general chat, and this is what it sounds like. It's just a bunch of stuff. It's a nice place to just go and ask whatever question, because if your question is related to something else over here, somebody can direct you there or whatever. Otherwise, you can scroll through these and you can find a specific topic. This channel is crazy. This LED lighting DIY channel is bonkers. I get a ping to this channel, and before I can even get there to see what they're pinging me about, like 150 more messages have gone by. I mean, it is amazing how active this channel is. And it's big thanks to the Pixel Heads, but a whole lot of other people too. This is definitely the busiest channel. and great place to go and get some help with LED stuff. But there's other things here too. We talk about ESP Home. We talk about the HA switch plate. There's even a little bit of Lumen Cache from time to time. It's been a little while since anybody talked about that, but Lumen Cache is my lighting system. The live stream, all the chat that you guys are putting is all getting copied into here. So if somebody posts a link or does something like that, you can go back here and find it. And that's this live stream chat. What else? There's a wHobbit hole one. There's projects. There's a shameless self-promotion. Shameless self-promotion. If you're posting about something that you did, like Sir Goodenough did, or some of these other guys, you want to post just whatever. You can go in here and advertise whatever you want. Like this is a self-promotion, just like it says, whatever you want to put in there. Home assistant, virtual machines, servers and networks. Like we got all kinds of topics. And I was shocked today when I went into Discord and posted the announcement. I was like, hey, I need some help, thinking of a topic. And I just said @here, which sends a message to everybody that is in that channel. There are 8,400 people on this Discord server. What? That is crazy. Crazy. Andy, when am I having more DrZzs in stock? I still have some of the Ethernet / Wi-Fi versions. I don't know when we're going to get more of the regulars or of the extended versions, extended external antenna. Blah. So I have some. I don't know how many. We can look and see. I'm getting some quads in the next week or couple of weeks. I am going to get a handful of quads. Well, it'll be more than a handful. So the ones that I have are the Ethernet ones. So I have 63 Ethernet ones left in stock. Okay? Free for all channel, right? Okay? So, and I don't know when the next Unos are going to be. I kind of just leave it up to Quindor. Quindor tells me when he can get me stuff, and I say, bring it. Dibs on the quads. I called it. There's going to be, well, we don't know how many. I don't want to make a promise yet, but there should be enough that everybody should be able to get a good amount. You're watching on VR, Alex? I'm enjoying my VR. I just changed some settings today and got higher resolution. If you haven't done that, Alex, you should do that. You need Side Quest loaded, and then you can go in and change some settings so you get higher resolution and higher CPU performance. Look, it made a difference. I could tell right away. It was pretty cool. All right. And now there was several questions here I wanted to answer. One of them, 3D is my new frequented channel, C# worm. There you go. So 3D. I want my 3D printers to get fixed so bad. Starting a small setup, a Uno Ethernet add-on board enough? Yes, definitely, Robert. Definitely. And I think a good starting point is Christmas tree lights. But of course, that's now going to be going away. So then, most of us are going to throw away our Christmas trees on Sunday, probably. But another thing to do is, just put some around in a room somewhere. You can I don't know, stick them under a desk, stick them behind a TV. You can do a lot of things to kind of give an ambient light presence, and then hook it up to a Uno with Ethernet is a very, very solid for any of that kind of project. It's good enough even to run your whole house if that was what you had. As far as permanent lights all the way around, usually can get it done with that as well. But yeah, no problems recommending that. Can I use XLights on the Quad 4? Yes, Juan. Yes, you can. Made 2,000 pixel tree and 8266, and wLED only lets me put 1,300. 8266 or wLED, not enough memory. How to work? So, Keith, what should we tell Keith here, guys? He's got a 2,000 pixel tree. I think the 8266 is probably going to struggle with that. So I think what you probably want is a 32. And you're probably going to want to split that up into separate segments. You could try, or separate channels. You could try, so get on a newer version of wLED where you can go into the hardware settings and change what your hardware outputs are, and then set up a couple different outputs and then try and split, 1,000 on one and 1,000 on another, you may struggle with an 8266 to make that work well. A 32 could do it better. And if you got a 32, you could even split it into more. So if you got like 2,000 pixels, your best result would be getting a quad and splitting it up into 4 500 pixel segments. Even an Uno with 2 1,000 pixel segments would be better than what you're trying to do with an 8266 for sure. And the big trick is splitting it up into 2 different segments, because 2,000 pixels on one output channel, it's gonna struggle. It's gonna struggle bad. I don't think that's gonna turn out too well for you. Okay. 2 channels and an ESP32 would be fine. I would concur. I always concur with Sir Goodenough though. That's wise. Can I use Ethernet board from my Uno on my quad? Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I mean, now when you're saying use the Ethernet board, you can, like, you've got to take the whole thing, right? You can't just take this top part. You can't just take, gosh. All right. You got to take this whole thing, and you can put this, you can swap this between Unos and quads. No problem. What you can't do is take just this part. All right. You can't take just this. Sorry about the autofocus. It's such a pain in the butt. You can't take just this because your other Uno, your other ESP32 does not have all these extra high pins over here. So these 2 things have to stay together. Quindor probably cringes every time I pull one of those apart. But yes, this piece you can certainly interchange between Unos and quads. You can even interchange it between new ones and old ones. You'll just have, if you're taking one from a new one like this and you're putting it on an old Uno or quad, you're going to have a lot of extra pins just kind of hanging out in the breeze that you won't use. Engineered to be a snug fit and sturdy. It is a snug fit and sturdy. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished, Quindor. And he does have something about using PoEs. Yes. Okay, so one of the things I was going to show, somebody asked, and I think it was even in a PM, so I hope he's watching. And I've done this before, but I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to try and do it on a super close-up. Let's try and do it on a super close-up, and let's set this thing so that it stops adjusting the focus. I wonder when my wife's going to let me retire. All right, that looks pretty focused, doesn't it? Okay. So the question was about setting up a microphone. Okay. I actually bought 100 of these microphones and I have them sitting over there on my desk. I just need to take the 15 minutes or whatever it might take to actually just make a page on the website to sell them, because that was my purpose. Because they're so easy and I could just sell them together with these. That's what a smart person would do. Anyways. So this microphone is just max. What does it say? Max. It doesn't say it on that side. It's like a max 20 something, 22, 44, whatever. I don't know. Anyways, it's a simple Arduino Max 4466. It's a simple Arduino microphone. It has a positive wire, which can be anything between 2.4 volts and 5.5 volts. That's the red one. It's got a ground wire. That's this gray one. And then it's got an output wire. So whatever the microphone hears, it sends out on this wire. Okay. Over here on the Uno, and to make this easier to see, I'll pull this guy off. Okay. Over here on the Uno, we've connected it to some of these extra pins. Okay. Connected to some of these extra pins here. The ground is connected. This is not bright enough. We need brighter. We need brighter. All right. Oh, now look what it's done. Now it's like all laggy. Crud. Well, anyways. So this, you can kind of see where it says ground there. So it says ground, GND right there. So that's where the white one is connected. Under that it says 5V. You'll just have to trust me on this, but it says 5V under there. And then the yellow one is connected to AO. And right there it says 3V3, which is the pin above it is a 3-volt pin. And then AO is where this yellow one is connected. So it's right next to the 5-volt pin. So these 3 pins right here together are a great place to connect up a microphone. And then when you have the sound reactive version of wLED, I'm going to put some of this back because now it's like all laggy and cruddy. Sorry about that. It's a little better. No. Okay. If you have a sound reactive version of wLED, in your configuration, sound settings, analog input pin 36. That's the AO pin. That's what you want. It's not a digital mic, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay? So somebody asked about that. 2 or more channels of ASB, low and crappy, yes. All right. It is a snug fit, isn't it, Dale? Have you done that? Like getting these, with these jumpers as tall as they are, getting this thing in there, I've got to kind of, oops, I'm not showing you. To get this in there, I've got to kind of pull these jumpers away. Pull them that way so that'll fit down next to it because that is one snug fit. But that's good because snug means secure in French, I'm pretty sure. Snugé. Snugé. It's French. It's French for tight. All right. Sorry for the spam. Light group question. Sorry for the spam. How are you controlling more than one LED strip in a single entity? I grouped 2 strips, but have issues with a single group entity controlling them properly. Michael, you're talking about in-home assistant. So I think when you make separate segments in Home Assistant, it will make a light entity for each segment, but it will also make an entity that it calls master. And the master will control them all. So for my lights around my desk, I've got 3 segments. There's a segment over here, there's a segment under the desk, and there's a segment on the right side of the desk. Watching while in the hot tub. You're on your VR in the hot tub, Alex? In Michigan? Man, I knew I liked you. You are a lunatic. Okay. Anyways, so the desk master is what you would turn on and turn off. It should control all the segments. It does not seem to be controlling all the segments currently, but that might be because my other segments are already off. Okay, so when that segment's on, unavailable. How could segment 3 be unavailable and the other segments be available? I wonder, I was messing around with the names of these the other day. Well, that turned them both on and off. For some reason, segment 3 is giving me grief. I don't know why. This is Sir Goodenough's paging system. Not on the VR, just through the phone. Okay. I don't know why my segment 3 would be malfunctioning. I guess what I'll do is go here. Really? I haven't configured it? What? Keep master light even with one LED segment. I don't know what that just did. Why does it say configure? Desk LEDs. Yeah, for some reason segment 3 is malfunctioning. Isn't that interesting? Huh. Well, we can always do this. Visit device. And, oh, that's part of the problem. Yeah, now they're working. So weird. I've got some screwy things happening. Definitely got some screwy things happening. Okay, so Alex, I want to tell you, when you do get SideQuest loaded up, there's a game, an augmented reality game where it just like takes your environment that's around you and like turns it into stuff. And you can get chased around your house by wild animals like lions and stuff. It's freaking crazy. All right, let's see now if we go back here. Let's see if this segment 3, segment 3 is still not working. That is so weird. I wonder why. Oh well, I don't know. Anywho, does that help? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Wow, we've been going. Is it an hour and a half? We'll go for another. We'll make this a little bit longer. I'm having fun chatting with you guys. I just like you. The annoying thing is that you can't do the chat on the YouTube VR. Oh, that's a bummer. Any tips on using DMX and hardwiring in a Node MCU to control an installation rather than via the app? Or can the Uno Quad accept a hardwired input? Byron, if you get the Ethernet Uno, if you get the Ethernet ESP32 version like this, then clearly you can do the wired connection. And that is the purpose of having this, is that the wired connection. Everybody likes wired connections when we can get them. So this is the one to get. Matt, thank you for subscribing. Unicorn Squirrel. Matt, what could we do for you, my friend? Which of my fancy effects would you like? Thank you so very much for becoming a member. That is fantastic. What would you like to see? Unicorns or trains or planes or whatever you want? Huh? Anything you say. Raw DMX in. No, there you go. Quindor's the man. Can do DMX. I don't even know what DMX is. DMX was like a rapper. That's all I know. I don't even think he was a good one. I don't know. What is that game called? Oh my gosh, I can't remember what it's called. We can open SideQuest and see because I highlighted it. We're gonna start a Oculus 2. Oh my gosh, we're gonna start an Oculus 2 clan. Everybody, all right? We start a clan. Where did I put my favorites? Huh. I don't know why does it have you set favorites if you can't even look at your favorites? It's in here somewhere. There's something about wild animals. I don't remember what it was called. I'll have to find it another time. It looked pretty cool. This one. Mixed reality, wild animals. And it lets you walk around your 2-story house even, and you can set up things to hide behind like trees and bushes and stuff, and then it turns these freaking animals loose in your house and you have to hide from them. How awesome is that? Phil, thank you very much, Phil. What would you like? Now let's see, I didn't remember whatever I got, let's do some. We haven't done this one in a while. And then, what about you, Phil? What would you like? You want some Zigbee?
Oh, the Zigbee! Oh, the Zigbee! Oh, the Zigbee! Oh,
Good morning, Zigbee. Tech.
Oh,
how are you, my friend?
Oh, the Zigbee! Oh, the Zigbee!
Newbie to this, how many strings of 50 pixels can I connect before I need power inject? Yeah, Mario, that is Jason has the right answer for you. I love your avatar, by the way, of Mario in a Santa suit. But that is it depends question. It depends on whether they're 12 or 5 volts, certainly. It also depends on how bright they are, what effect you're running. So there's a couple of variables there that we can't just say a blanket statement. I will give you a bit of a blanket statement, and that is if you're using 5 volts, 5-volt lights, you might get 150 lights maybe before you need to inject power. 12-volt lights, you could probably get 250 to 300 before you need to inject power in most cases. But again, if you just dial down the brightness, or if you, only if you're happy with certain effects and not other effects, you can probably stretch that out even a little bit farther. So, trains. Let's do this. We haven't done this one in a while either. Is that still super loud? I can't remember if that's super loud or not. Choo choo. Just wanted to say a massive thanks for answering my 3 separate segment output question from the other day. The hex lights I made look awesome. It works flawless. Shame I can't share how they look. Share it on Discord, Coyote. Share it on Discord. You were never officially welcomed, Yum Yum Bob. I'm so sorry. What would you like, my friend? Would you like, how about this one? All right, what else can we answer for people? Let's talk some more about your permanent lights. What questions do you have? I know there's some lurkers in here. There's 146 people and then 11 on Twitch. So there's a plenty of people I'm sure that are watching going, oh, I want to ask my question, but I don't want to sound dumb. You might sound dumb, but we've all sounded dumb before and you'll get over it. So just go ahead. Let us help you. Just let us help you. Don't be afraid to sound dumb. It's going to be all right. Dig Dug forever. On the front of my house, I got about 400 12-volt 2815s and power inject at both ends. So that's not bad. Well, 2815s are 12 volts, right, Alex? Do I think permanent lights would hold up in Arizona? Yeah, I think they would. I would definitely try and keep them in the shade as much as you can. I know Hookup Rob has had his up in aluminum channel, and they've held up, and that's Florida. So maybe not quite the raw sun intensity of Arizona, but hot, certainly, and sunny. GoVee Bluetooth light. Can I add an ESP8266 so I can just turn them on or off? GoVee Bluetooth lights. Oh, you mean a strip of lights? You could add, I mean, an 8266, you could add something like a Sonoff Basic just to turn off and on the power. It's just a Wi-Fi relay. That would do it to just turn things on and off. It's possible, depending on what the nature of those lights are, you may be able to replace it with an Uno or a quad kind of a thing. Just replace their controller completely, but I don't know. They're outdoor strip. Yeah, I think you could do something like just a smart plug and power on, power off the smart plug itself. That would work. Sonoff or something else. Waiting for spring for more lights, and it's too cold here in Michigan. Amen. Does the PoE allow for data update as well, or is it just for power? You mean 8-bit Ed? Are you talking about on the Uno and the quad? It's actually not PoE. It's not PoE. It is just data. Now, Quindor did this on one of his streams. You can use like a PoE adapter, where if you've got a PoE switch, you can run a PoE Ethernet line to your quad and then use the adapter to kind of break out the power. And you can break out the power and you can power the Uno, quad, whatever, and the lights through that breakout power and then just run the data to the Ethernet. That would work. And that works pretty well. And some of those breakout power splitters, I guess, the PoE splitters that you can put at the device end, depending on the voltage of your input, or your PoE voltage, you can have several amps, and depending on the output voltage too, I suppose. But if you're 5 volts on the output side, you could probably get 2 or 3 amps and have plenty to run a good bit of lights over that PoE. But there's the answer for you. The device itself, the Ethernet device that is on the Uno or the quad, is not PoE. Have I ever looked at JellyFish lighting? It looks cheaper and looks at cheaper alternatives. So JellyFish lighting, I do know JellyFish lighting. They charge so much. maybe if people don't want any hassle and they just want to be like, call somebody, give them, $5,000 to $10,000 and let them just do it all and then hand you an app at the end, then great. JellyFish is good. I would not go with XLights though, because XLights tried to sue us. XLights tried to stop us from selling PermaTrack, and it cost me a few $1,000s to fight them, but we won. And so now we get to sell PermaTrack. That was last Christmas. They tried to shut us down. We said, no, wait. So I would not recommend XLights because they're punks. But JellyFish, JellyFish has a different way of doing it. They've got, bigger pixel pucks that are like a foot apart or something. But a lot of the people around where we live have that. A lot of these luxury home contractors are offering it and installing it with new houses. And it looks really good. Can't blame people for wanting to do it. It's just, I can't spend that kind of money when I could have this much joy doing it myself. The cheaper alternative is what we're talking about. It's buy your own pixels, buy your wLED controller, maybe get some PermaTrack, maybe get some J channel or something else. And that's what you would do. Where is the Discord? Oh, somebody can send you a link to the Discord. Coyote needs a link to the Discord. What the heck drove your power consumption up to 8 kilowatts before dropping back down to 3? Probably the oven. It's either the dryer, which is electric, or the oven, which is electric. That's what I think is driving my power consumption right now. And if my solar panels were working, this would be lower, but it's not. I would like my GW6205 strands to work with wLED. Oh, Jim, Altus. I don't know about those. I don't know what GW6205 are, but there is a wLED Discord. You can go there and you can make a request, or you can make a request on the wLED, page anyways. Like the what do you call it? GitHub, right? I don't know if it works with those or not. I'm assuming since you're asking that it's not listed in this list of the types of pixels that you can use, right? What did you say they were called? GW6205. I've not heard of those. But I mean, they can certainly build something if it's popular and it's new and it's good. My guess is it would be on the list of things to eventually add. So put in the request, and Air Cookie is amazing. Any ideas on net lights that work with wLED? Good question, Jeremy Smith. Does anybody know a good net lighting? So you know what I'm talking about with net lighting, right? Probably need to go to AliExpress for something like this. I don't know what I would call them. Pixel net, maybe? Yeah, something like this. So individual LED color net pixels, 12 volt WS2811, green wire, 20 by 20, $270. Wow, that seems like a lot. What I would like, see, look, and they're just tying these together. Man, I have a tough time. But I guess, it's what's worth more, your money or your time, right? Like you could probably just take a pixel strings, which looks like all they're doing. They've just got, we need to do a video on how to make your own nets. Pixel heads, has anybody done that? Has anybody done a video on how to put together your own pixel net? Because this is craziness. All this is regular strings of pixels that they've put in, that they've used twist ties on each one. They've paid some poor hungry Chinese child to twist tie each of these things together, and then it turns into a matrix. Has anybody done a video on how to do that? Because $270 for 400 pixels seems crazy. I guess maybe that's not that bad. What can you do for? It's an overpriced ghetto net. Hey, Blackadder, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Look like a bunch of zip ties. It is, right? Wouldn't it need some elasticity? This doesn't have any. I don't think it would need too much, but if you're talking about, if you're going to try and get elasticity, because ultimately you're going to have wires in here, and those are going to be not elastic. So probably what you've got here is just something that is specifically spaced. You've got some, because it looks like, you know, from one pixel here, you go down here, and then it goes this loop, and then back to that one. And then they just zip tie that thing around there. Here's some more. This is probably just a netting. Yeah, so this is just going to be, and that stuff's not going to have the pixels in it at all. There's that kind of a thing. I don't think that's really for what we're looking for. It's interesting to see what kind of things they already offer. I would bet you that every one of these, dang near every one of them, is made the same way. You know what? They're just all made the same way. It's just all twist tied together. I mean, that would suck to physically sit down and do, depending on how big it is. But at the same time, everybody can do it. I mean, that's pretty easy, right? Zoom in. These are the same, man. Every single one of these are just the same. Interesting. Interesting. Most conspicuous ghillie suit ever. Cover yourself in an LED net. Oh my gosh, that sounds like a fantastic Halloween decoration. Must just use matrices. Most conspicuous. I know own stock in Acme zip tie company. All the time while watching your live streams. A guy on Discord has one of those nets. Does he? What does he think of it? Raywu has a net. Not sure how it's constructed exactly, though. From Raywu, kept having issues with it. Yeah. Could tie that into your permanent lights? Absolutely, Tracy. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I think that's a great thing to do. What I would like to do is I have this big tree in the backyard, and I think you'd just like to drape a net on that and make that a matrix, like with a net. I don't know. That was a good question, though. Thanks for asking. That's a good question. You can get plastic fence products at Home Depot that works great for making pistols. Oh yeah, what's that stuff, Robert? What's that stuff? That stuff is that plastic. Yes, that's good. That's good. I've wanted to get some of that plastic net. Home Depot. This, right? Is this the stuff? But there's stuff that's closer together, not this stuff. It's like the screen. Silt fencing. Silt fencing. Let's look at silt fencing. I guess they think of silt fencing differently. This looks like it's landscape netting. Let's try that. To me, it looks like it's just that fine chicken wire. That doesn't look like it either. Fence wire, maybe this is it. Yeah. No. Dang it. It's the really tight stuff. Dang it. Somebody find me a link. I'm failing here. Failing to find the link. Has 1/2 inch holes. Matrix is made of wire fence, 1/2 inch holes. Farm fencing. That's the stuff. Oh, where'd it go? There you go. This is the stuff. This is the stuff. Oh, we can go get some right now. It's in aisle 31, bay 1. Thank you, Justin. You just find the same stuff I found? This is it, right? Yeah, this is the stuff. So with this, you can do lots of things because the pixels push in there pretty nicely, right? The pixels stuff we got was plastic. Yeah, there's probably some different options depending on where you go. But the idea is it's got to have this size mesh. And so these are half-inch squares, right? Those are half-inch squares. And the reason that's important is because the diameter of the pixels is about 12 millimeters, or about a half-inch. So they fit in there real nice, which means you can do lots of things. I mean, you could make like a light bright out of it, you know, really, you have to be within this. You can't make big, huge gaps, but you could make a light bright. So with that stuff, which is cheap stuff, and a frame, you could make any prop that you want pretty easily, right? Without any special stuff and without a lot of money, without waiting. Usually the big problem with a lot of these things that we want to do is waiting for somebody to get it to you, right? Stubbs makes all his props with that stuff. That's because Stubbs is a genius. See? I actually should get some of this stuff and play around with it. I'll do that in my spare time. Do I have any recommendations on pixel pucks that would work with the Dig Quad? Good question. Let's go back to AliExpress. Why is Ray Wu in there? Isn't that interesting? I haven't searched for Ray Wu. I don't know if pixel puck. I'm kind of afraid what's going to show up. What's these kinds of things, right? So these are WS2011 12 volt addressable RGB full color pixel module. $16 for 20 of them. I don't know who makes them. But this is what you're talking about, right? These pucks. And this would work. I mean, these are WS2811s. So what you would do to use these, now this is an important point, and this is something that we can, this is similar to what JellyFish uses. And this is something that we can look at in the wLED settings. When you create a segment in wLED settings, come on now. Give me the PC mode. There you go. Now this one doesn't have a segment. Let's find one that has a segment. Big Shane. Come on, Big Shane. Where's my desk? Let's find one that's my desk here. Well, we'll use the main one. That one's got segments. If we pick the right thing, it's got segments. Okay. So when you're in a segment, you can change the grouping. So an individual pixel is one group. Even though there's three lights in it, they're one group. These things, and what JellyFish uses is there are three. Come on, turkey. There are three WS2811s in one puck. So if you set the grouping to 1 and you use these pucks, each of those will be a different color. And you don't want that. You want each puck to be a color. So you would have to make your whole string one segment. And in that one segment, you would set the grouping to 3. And then each of those pucks would act together. Okay? So now you know. You know. Let's turn on the maize and blue lights outside. It's only a week and a half till we get to see some football. No, 1 WS2011 chip, 3 LED packs to drop 12 volt to usable voltage. So each puck is a single LED. Well, what about, wait, you mean me? No. Wait, what? I'm talking about the control though. Is that not right? Are you answering me, Quindor? What is spare time? What the puck? No, not that. Of course, the first stream I see in 21 is about Christmas lights. Of course it is. It is Christmas time. PVC cloth. Oh, there we go. That might be better. It's better than the metal. Oh, take it from me. I will. This is giving Quindor a chance to correct me. I'm not surprised I'm wrong. Oh, this is cloth. This is all metal. Is it all metal? Oh, there it is. First one right there. Ace Hardware, though? Yeah, I like Ace Hardware, but 1/2 inch. This one looks like cloth. Is this the plastic stuff? Yeah, vinyl. Vinyl coated. Vinyl coated. That doesn't necessarily mean it's made out of vinyl. PVC welded. As long as it has 1/2 inch. Nope, those are 3 inch. The big point is it has to have 1/2 inch spaces. So whatever you can find that's 1/2 inch spaces. I'm sure what Tech Turtle and what Stubbs and the gang would tell you is that if you use the metal stuff, you will destroy your fingers. That looks like plastic. All right, now back to Quindor. Correct me. Even though it has 3 LEDs, those always do the same. Oh, do they? Okay. It's a single pixel in wLED. Okay, well, I was wrong. Thank you for correcting me. I have never bought these. I'm just assuming when I saw those that they would do that. So I guess, okay, that's true. So they work like the old WS2811 strips where it's tri-dressable already. So they're sending the data, the same data to each of these 3 LEDs in there. Okay, good. Well, let's take the part of the stream where I just said all that blasphemy and just strike it from the record. Oh, I'm having fun tonight. Amazon has it. Home Depot has it. Wouldn't use groups there, yeah. Well, never mind. Scratch everything. In fact, we could probably go back to the beginning of the stream and just say all that stuff that Z said, just forget about it. The dude's nuts. I don't know what he's talking about. What do you guys think of these? Tell me, riddle me this, my LED loving friends. Would it be worthwhile for us to work on a pixel track for these? Do you think these are better, popular, brighter? Like, was there a reason? Because I have had somebody ask me if we would be interested in making PermaTrack in an option for these kinds of pucks. That'd be interesting doing the chapters then. Well, it's good to just know this is wrong, right? So just, when you get to that point, say, this is wrong. Okay, Tech Turtle saved the day. Tech Turtle saves the day. Okay, this comes with Tech Turtle's recommendation, so I'm going to add it to my favorite things. Freaking cool LEDs. That's what we're going to do. And actually, should I just buy some and make something with it? After Christmas? That's okay. I don't need it until after Christmas. Let's buy it now. We're going to buy it. Okay. I'm going to buy it and I'm going to make a matrix out of it. It's going to be freaking awesome. Those could be nice, like switching from normal bulbs to C9s, bigger and brighter. I'm looking at those used on my house. I like the look of those pucks. Some people do. And I think that's why somebody asked, I like the pixels the way they are, but if, it may be worthwhile to look into. So I would say that if we start to offer, as like everything, things grow and things change, right? If you look at the Digi Unos from this year, they're different than they were last year and the year before. And PermaTrack that we have now is different than what we had a year ago. And in a year from now, I don't think we're going to stop having what we have, but we may add options. And one of those options might be something like that. Add a spot of hot glue to the matrix LEDs. A spot of hot glue everywhere. You could do 5 to 6 inch separations. There's a cloth version of that wire called Yard Guard on Amazon as well. I am just going to watch the Dr. Pee-Pee stream instead. Oh my gosh, but I'm bummed. Dr. Pee-Pee's stream. Oh, you got to be clever to get that one. What have I found to permanently outline a window with pixels or LED strips? Michael, we talked about that at the beginning. A lot of people use PVC. A lot of people use the Boscoyo. It's several names. Boscoyo strips, which is this stuff. No, it's on Alibaba. Wow. So it's this stuff that you just pop pixels into. You could even use what we just saw. You could even use this stuff, to be honest. You could use this. This would make it pretty easy to have a matrix on your window that you could put up and take down if you're looking for a matrix. I'm actually kind of excited about this now. I'm gonna make a matrix out of this, and I'm gonna make a matrix out of it, and I'm gonna hang it next to my office window out the back. Appreciate you summarizing it, though. You're welcome. Yeah, that somebody else said that they used 1x2 wood and just kind of stapled or mounted the lights to that, and then they put it up and take it down. But PVC, I've seen PVC frames where people drill holes or twist tie, zip tie, and then they hang it on there and pull it off. Those things work pretty well. Window matrix does sound pretty good, don't you think? I think it does. E-top. Interesting. Won't be as cool as my pegboard matrix. Well, that's clearly not as cool as my pegboard matrix, which I've hung up on the wall now. My sound matrix. I've hung it up and I leave it on the center equalizer mode so that it's always doing colors and going bigger and smaller stuff. Do I have any experience using wLED control on a DMX receiver? I do not. But the pixel heads can probably tell you about it, and Quindor can tell you about it. I think. Vinyl trim from the PoE works good, just have to drill holes in it. The vinyl trim stuff? Yeah, the drilling holes. If you did something where you could snap the puck in and put the globe in, the only issue I see is being wind knocking the globes off. Yeah, and I don't know about the globes. I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, that's be interesting to see how that would fit, because that looks like the globe's supposed to go in first. I would bet you this, that's what JellyFish uses, and then these guys just, sell it on the side. Same kind of thing. This one looks like it has one LED and a diffuser, so that's different. These are RGB. $22 for 50. Now, what somebody was telling me, looks like these are in strings, but somebody was telling me that you can get these that are, oh my gosh, look at how many are in those. 24 volt. Wow. $22 for 20. So these are more expensive, but boy, they'd be bright. Somebody was telling me that each of them, these are not that way, that each of them is separate. So like, instead of a string of 50 or something, like this looks like it's probably a string of 20. That it's a smudge, it's like each one individually, which is crazy to me. But anyways, there's all kinds. This is Ray Wu. Ray Wu makes these. Won't be as cool. Oh, yeah. E-top is Paul Zhang. But I guess you recognize that. I did recognize it. Because that's who makes our stuff. He makes the PermaTrack. What do you guys know about him? What do you think? He seems like a dude. He seems like a good dude the times I've worked with him, but he's been good to us. Pixel Stick does it well. I don't know about wLED. Never tried. Pixel Stick does it natively. There you go. Just use a Pixel Stick. Or you can use an Uno or Quad or whatever else and just put Pixel Stick on it. That would work. Hey, we're down to less than 2,000 pictures to back up now on my phone. Popped up in Sound Reactive on Discord. Oh, popped the post up. Oh, we got lots of posts. Gemstone, yeah, and everything. Those are quite excellent. Ooh, interesting. So which Canadian place have you worked with, Quindor? We need to chat offline, because I've also been, I wonder if we've been talking to the same guy. You're welcome, McCleskey. 16 gig concentric for LED pixels. Yes. No, the quad noodle don't have the DMX chip to drive DMX. Oh, there you go. I did not know that. That's a lot of things I don't know. We already decided that, right? A getaway for the backup. Just change the screen lock to never until it finishes and leave it open. Oh yeah, we do that. And that's what we do. We actually, that's what my wife's been doing. She's been turning it on, plugging it in, turning it face down on the nightstand and going to bed. I have read 12-volt pixels can be a fire hazard. What's your take on that? So, Michael, that's relative to 5-volt pixels. 5-volt pixels, I've heard the same things probably that you have, and the pixel heads can tell us, Quindor can tell us. The voltage regulator in the 12-volt pixels is where you have the potential for fire at individual pixels. You don't have that issue in 5 volts. Also, a 12-volt short probably could spark something enough or get hot enough, but 5-volt short, probably not going to do that much. Have I thought about doing it PermaTrack in plastic or a cheaper option? I wanted to do it in vinyl initially. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to keep looking for manufacturers, maybe. We are talking about the guy in Canada that I started working with on doing it as a more locally manufactured option. It's going to be different in a lot of ways, but it's aluminum instead of the galvanized sheet metal. And when I was trying to find a manufacturer on Alibaba to make PermaTrack like 2 years ago, I can't believe it's been that long, but it has. I said the same thing. What about aluminum? What about vinyl? And they all said steel is going to be the cheapest. And my assumption is that that's because in China, sheet metal is pretty cheap. Be an injection mold? I don't know. That's a good question, C# Worm. My thought was whatever they're doing to make the J channel, just do that. Just poke holes in it. That's all I need. Just take the J channel and poke holes in it. It would actually be kind of cool to just make a machine. I love when my brain does this. Make a machine that you can take J channel and just set it on the machine, and it's got like a wheel of holes, right? Of hole punches, and you just crank the wheel and it feeds the J channel through and just punches a hole, every so many inches, every 2 or 3 inches, and and you just take regular J channel that you can buy super cheap already. Can't get it much cheaper than that. And you can just blast the holes in it. Pixel fire topic is interesting. Not really enough data to make any kind of decision at this point yet. So go with 12 volts. Michael, Justin makes a great point. The point, my opinion, where I would stand on that is the risk of fire with 12 volts is more than it is with 5 volts, but it is still very small, especially if you do the right things like use fuses and do good wire connection practices and keep things out of the water and the rain and stuff like that. So, see, Doc makes a J channel punch. I want a J channel punch bad. Radial arm saw. Radial arm saw? What is a radial? Oh, wait a minute. I think I know what that is. I'm not sure how that would work. I'm having a good time just hanging out with you dudes tonight. Made out of a radial arm saw. I was thinking something a little bit different. Maybe not quite that fast. Closing some of these things. All right. Molds for doing injection molding are expensive. Yeah, I know. Good radial arm saw. Big risk of death getting into car, drinking water and breathing. I tell people that a lot. I was just talking to, who was I talking to? It was one of the surgeons, and we were discussing our kind of pre-op talk that we have with patients. And one of the things that I tell people when they're nervous, I don't know if it helps, but one of the things that I tell people when they're nervous is you've already done the most dangerous thing you're going to do today, which is get in the car and drive here. From here on, even though you're going to have general anesthesia and you're going to have surgery, you're going to be less likely to have a traumatic death during general anesthesia and surgery than you are in a car on the road. So anyways, I don't know if that's really true, but I think it is. I saw a video on the XLights channel about safety. Wanted to go back and watch it. Saw the first few minutes, then lost the link. Has a variable speed motor on it. It need to be, I mean, I'm thinking like if you're really going to pinch, if you're really going to like have the punch, you know, you'll have to like grab you'll have to have the J channel will have to get held pretty tight. You'll have to have a hole underneath where the punch goes in. And it'll almost be like, I don't even know if you can do it radially, but my thought is like the speed at which you crank it, like as you're cranking it, it's punching a new hole and then it's punching a new hole, like a spoke, you know? That's what I have. On LED string brands, Mr. Snacks, I do not have a video on LED string brands. I think it was last year. I went to AliExpress and I bought like 10 different brands. I bought 10 different brands of different LED manufacturers, and I don't even know now if they all even exist anymore, right? You know, they're famous for just changing the names on things and reselling them. I probably couldn't even find all the same brands this year that were out last year, but there are a few. So NX Banda, I did try them last year. I don't remember which, you know, if they were good or bad, but there's some I don't even see anymore. As far as brands, things like this, BTF Lighting does a good job. If you're getting into pixels, then there's like Paul and Ray Wu, and I don't know those guys. And the pixel heads can tell you what they think about those things. If you're just going on here to buy stuff, BTF Lighting is good. I go with BTF Lighting a lot, and they're a little more expensive, not a lot more expensive, but I've not had any problems with any of their stuff. But I think for the most part, they're not that much different. I mean, I think the trick is sometimes you just get a bad batch, and you know they're manufacturing these things really cheap, really fast. The margin's probably pretty low for them, so you're gonna get a variation in quality, sometimes even from the same manufacturer. So, but I don't think anybody's gonna say BTF Lighting sucks. I think everybody will say BTF Lighting is probably one of the betters. And then any of these others, they just don't stick around long enough to know. Like, again, I think I tried 10 different brands of pixel strings or pixel strips like these, like a year ago. And so far I'm recognizing 2, you know, just BTF and Banda, whatever they are. So I don't know. Wally's Lights tests them before they resell. It will affect the RGB order. Be sure those are the same ones. Don't mix brands. That's true. They do exist in my marble matrix. You're right, Sir Goodenough. They do exist. They're not labeled, unfortunately. But that's what I made my marble matrix out of. No, it's not marble. What's that word? Come on, guys. What's that word? Oh, I was gonna remember it because I like that word. Get a 12 millimeter leather punch and just smack it with a hammer. I tried that. I tried getting a punch. Like seriously, I did get a pack. I went to like Home Depot or something and got a punch that's 12 millimeters. And I tried just whacking the vinyl with it. And the problem was that vinyl was too strong. So I think what I would need is more pressure. So you're going to have, in order for that to work, you would have to really be able to compress that, put a lot of pressure. So you'd have to have a crank mechanism that's like crunch, crunch, crunch. So now what would be super cool looking would be a saw or like a spoke where it's all drills, where you got, 12 drill bits running and you spin that thing around and it just, I don't think it would work, but that would look cool. Use a press. Yeah. I think what you do, and the people who do it, better than I did it, just use a drill press and just, and then you just have a jig, you just drill press, drill press, drill press, drill press. I did it by hand. It was a flapping pain in the butt. Arbor press. Arbor press. I don't know what that is. I like we've actually kind of stayed on topic. Isn't that amazing? Ooh, an arbor press. Oh yeah, that would probably work. So I would want a radial arbor press. Can I get a radial arbor press? Huh? 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 Oh. No. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I saw the crank. I saw the handle crank there and I got excited. Anyways. So I'll be doing it by hand. Man, go Harbor Freight. Just check out a cheap, check out a cheap Harbor Freight, drill press. You might spend $100 on it, but you probably save yourself $100 worth of pain and suffering. Cabochons. That's right. Cabochons. Your radiator punch could work, but probably not hand cranked. Yeah. How's it going, Rambozo? How you been? All right. I think I better sign off now. It has been 2 hours. Yeah. Cabochons. I'm going to say it enough times. I'm going to try and remember it. For the win, 3,000 pixels and not one issue with them, with any of them. They're all tagged and with manufacturer's date and stuff, so he can trace it back. Good, smart guy. Thank you for your video with the sun in his room. Your video helped me get over my fear of breaking things and actually putting together my first wLED strip. Lee Phoenix, I'm happy to hear that, my friend. Happy to hear it. Line boring machine. Make a line boring machine. All right, and then we're going to call up the kids. I hear the kids tickling Mrs. Z's downstairs. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is where you've got like a whole bunch of drill bits you just press down all at once. Right? And I actually, I tried to build one of these last year in my garage. I bought like Harbor Freight had they have these like $12 drills. I actually bought I think I only bought 5. I think I bought 5 $12 drills and some metal stripping and some threaded rods, and I built this whole thing in my garage and tried to make something like this. You got to have like a certain distance. You want the right distance apart and stuff like that. It needs to be long. I'd love to be able for it to be like, ideally like 6 feet long, 5 feet long, 8 feet long, 4 feet long. I don't know. Used to make closet organizer panels, 50 holes at once. Ooh. I think so. And then now we're getting into like making a special machine, which actually sounds pretty fun, to be honest. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how long this permanent LED craze on the house lasts. All right. You ready to call up the kids for sign off? Let's do it. Oh, my sign off button is gone. Oh dear. Oh no, there it is. I moved it so I didn't accidentally hit it. All right, here they come. Boom, 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 boom. Paper punch with custom spacing and a hand lever. Oh, here they come. They're excited. It's been a good Christmas break. Kids have been crazy. It's been fun. Forever. I hope so. Forever. Okay, here they come. They do it on purpose now. They stomp as loud as they can. They know I hear them.
I can't see myself.
Who's getting tickled down there, Mom?
Mom? That's so funny.
Oh my gosh, I hear her squealing.
She just started tackling downstairs. I'm playing Mom and Game Pigeon right now. I just beat her.
She's going to be mad.
She's going to scream. I don't think she's going to realize until they tell her.
You know what, Rambozo? Once we cover our house with video panels, then we can make our house invisible by putting cameras on the back side of it. Don't put tape on my head.
I would never.
Yeah, right. All right, you two kids. This is number 11 of the 12 streams of Christmas. We only have one left. So,
Christmas Eve?
I think we'll do it Christmas Eve morning. So
we're not going to have one tomorrow?
I have to look at my work schedule, but I think probably not. Right now, I guess it's on for tomorrow. What should we do? Do you guys want to do it tomorrow evening, or do you want to do it Christmas Eve morning? I'll let the dudes decide. What do you think?
It's so dark outside.
I know, right? There's like no moon.
It's like 6. Oh my god.
These two monkeys back here.
So, I'll show you the video of Mom after. Alright, let's say it as fast as we can, okay?
Okay, we're going to do it as fast as we can. Ready? As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, adios. Nice. Okay.
Bye.
All right, I'll decide. Both. I will consult with the family.
We don't even do on Christmas Eve morning.
Yeah, I mean, it would be early. It'd be like 9 in the morning or
We don't
something.
do
So
it.
you guys probably wouldn't even be awake.
No,
Spider-Man tomorrow morning. Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, Phil. You're gonna love it. I gotta say, it's up there in my top. Oh, you stinker! You did stick tape to my head.
What?
He's such a monkey. Half and half. All right, you guys are so welcome. Thank you for being here. You're awesome. Merry Christmas. Thanks for all your encouragement. Thanks for giving me good feedback about what we're gonna do and what we're gonna make better. And thanks for all your help. Adios. We'll see you. I'll make an announcement. Right now it's posted for tomorrow at 6. If that's not going to happen, I'll let everybody know. Sound good? All right. Adios.